Hey guys, White Manga again, back with March Art Madness Round 3 review for 2021. This is Saturday AM's crazy mad contest, art tournament, whatever you want to call it, that happens annually where we go through the entries and the judges kind of give their little lowdown on what they pick. They vote. You guys can vote as well. In fact, you can go to saturday-am.com/madness to go vote on these. So even though we're voting here and we have a lot of say in who goes through, you guys have say as well. So you guys can go do that. There'll be a link in the description. We have all our amazing judges right here with me. Some of them are artists themselves, and some are great partners of ours, and we'll kind of go through the discussion here. I'm going to be passing it on to Frederick, and everybody will kind of introduce themselves. Frederick, the founder of Saturday AM, and we'll just kind of go through there, going through every entry, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Again, go to saturday-am.com/madness to see a clearer view of these entries, as well as vote yourselves and fill out the surveys. Do your boy solid. Fill out all the surveys there and vote for your favorite entries. And we'll just go from there. Fred?
Thank you so much, Whyt. Everybody, thank you guys for tuning in. This is March Art Madness 2021. This is our third round. So we've actually began 2 weeks ago with the first two rounds. This is the final 16. So just to explain to you guys how this works, this is very much like March Madness here in the United States for the NCAA basketball tournament, and you take 64 artists from around the world. They go mano a mano, meaning one artist versus another with a theme each week that changes. One week it might be Batman, the next week it might be Street Fighter, and so on. This challenges every aspect of an artist's ability to become the artist that can become a professional artist. And when you think about all the things you need to have as an artist, whether it's on-time delivery, whether it's drawing different types of things, ingenuity, because you may have to draw something in a different way to the material, you have to research. All these skills get tested in this 5-week tournament. Now today, with round 3, we're down to our final 17 artists. Typically it's called Sweet 16, but we have one extra alternate artist who got in, and so this week we're going to be choosing between 17 artists. And when we are done today, we will have a remaining 8 artists. So we're getting down to the wire. We're super excited. There's some really amazing artwork here, and you guys are going to really love this. And as White Manga said, you get to choose who has a chance to make it through to the final round. And the way you do that is by voting on our website. So now we will make votes today, and these votes do have a hefty cost to them, so the hefty point total. So the points that we award today will significantly assist an artist on their journey to make it to the final round. However, you all play a massive role in that, and you can do it by going to our website, as Whyt said, www.saturday-am.com/madness. Now, we're going to get you an introduction in just a moment, but first, can't really go forward without talking about who we are. Now, if you guys have never seen Saturday AM, we are the world's most diverse manga brand. We have 3 separate magazines that focus on 3 of the most prominent Japanese-inspired manga categories. Those are shonen, which we have a magazine called Saturday AM, seinen, which we have a magazine called Saturday PM. This tends to be for older male fans. And then josei, which is a magazine devoted to older female creators or fans. And of course, we tend to also include LGBTQ content in there. And you can see that with Saturday Brunch. Speaking of Saturday Brunch, we actually have the latest issue of that available now in our app for free. This is a wonderful magazine. It features some incredible artists. In fact, while Saturday AM itself and all of our individual brands have artists from all over the world, Saturday Brunch, this latest issue, has artists from, get this, the Bahamas, Germany, Denmark, and the United Kingdom. We've also got some amazing articles in the magazine as well, and we're super excited to debut the first Black female Bahamian superhero, which is Zephyr, a title by Stanley Russell. So you certainly want to check out Brunch. It is free in our app. In fact, all of our latest issues of our magazines are free in our mobile app. We also have some great toys. You guys love our characters like White Manga's Apple Black, and you can certainly appreciate the fact that Saturday AM has gotten significant enough in terms of our brand recognition and fan base globally that we now have some toys available. In fact, folks, we got so many announcements coming, it's going to blow your mind, but definitely check out our brand new collectible toys from Jabberwocky Toys. These things are really fun. They're super inexpensive, and you can find them right now at HotTopic.com. Likewise, our digital magazine that you can find, or digital magazines you can find via our app, will soon be joined by a physical magazine. We've heard you guys loud and clear. In fact, we debuted this last year in a beta version and received acclaim from Pop Insider as one of the best geeky gifts. So we're really excited to get this magazine coming to you guys soon. We'll have some updates about it within the next couple of days, but do stay tuned for Super Saturday, our first print magazine featuring all original content from diverse manga creators around the world. Of course, if you want to get in with Saturday AM, you can do so via our mobile app. It's really simple, folks. It's a free download, and it works, of course, on your iOS or Android. We also have the web app version if you don't have any space on your phone or tablet. So check it out at www.saturday-am.com/app, APP. We're going to talk about some of our guests today, but we first want to introduce a very special guest. Now, March Art Madness every single year brings out some extraordinary, incredible sponsors. We're very honored this year to have Flick Games, makers of one of the fastest growing and one of the hottest solitaire card games on the mobile game store, Flick Solitaire. Now, I'm going to introduce you guys to these guys in just a moment. We want to talk about their Flick Solitaire game. I'm personally a fan of the game and use it on both my Mac and on my iPhone. Before we do that, let's talk about our core judges. You guys all know we have, of course, the one and only Whyt Manga. Say hello, everybody, with Whyt.
Hello, everybody. You guys totally just met me for the first time. Nice being on the channel. This is amazing.
They may just tune into the video, dude. You have no idea. And people discover your channel every day. But there's Whyt, of course. You all know this crazy man. He's also, Whyt is humble. He's a co-founder of the company. And of course, we're very proud to have Apple Black and Whyt and everything he brings to the company. We also have the one and only Jay Oden. He is the creator of Hammer. He also has a series, a graphic novel just posted by Oni Press called Lemonade Code. And he also recently, Jay, are you there?
Yo, what's going on, guys?
You recently just started a Facebook commercial, is that right?
No, not at all.
Folks, I'll be putting this joke in our Instagram very soon. This is Jay and JR DeBar, two of our artists. I think they're on the Facebook commercial, but I'll show you what I'm talking about soon. Thank you for being here, Jay. We also have Rashad Millhouse, one of our artists who is the Saturday PM. He does a series called Outland. It's a wonderful science fiction title. And he's also the artist of Saturday Wars, which is our big crossover bit with all of our characters meeting each other for the first time. Never been done before, really, in manga and anime, so we're really excited about this. Rashad, how are you doing today, buddy?
Doing pretty good, man. Happy to be here.
If you all don't know, you all going to hear in a minute Flick Games, and you're going to hear that they have some funny accents, but I want to let you all know right now that Rashad is not from the UK. Are you from the UK, Rashad?
I can be.
You could, right?
I think I'm pretty good with an accent or two.
I think you're from Newcastle. All right, well, then let's go to Flick Solitaire, the makers of Flick Solitaire, Flick Games. We have the founder and creator of the game, Mr. Ian Masters. And Ian, I haven't told you this, but you have one of the coolest names I think I've heard in a while. There's another guy, Ian, who has a better name than you. Recently, we just met. Ian Masters sounds like a Bond villain. The other guy is an American who we're working with, and his name is literally Rob Super. You guys have the coolest names I think I've heard in a long time.
That's hilarious. Well, I'm glad you like my name, if not my accent.
I always like the British accent, man. It's a real pleasure to have you here, Ian. I really appreciate it. We've also got Katie. Katie, good Lord, I had your last name. God, Katie, what's your last name?
It's Barkley, my dear.
Barkley. I had it. I was like, I knew it. I just couldn't remember. I was going to say something else, but we've got Katie as well. I'm really excited to have you both here. First of all, you guys have been nothing but excellent. Ever since I first met Ian and heard Ian talk about the ethos behind Flick Games and Flick Solitaire, I felt rarely, I might add, you all who followed us for years know this, but I felt a rare sense of compatibility because it was someone who also cares about diversity as much as we do. Ian, can you tell our folks about your background and about the creation of Flick Solitaire?
Yeah, sure. I'd be happy to. I've been making games for 22 years. I started making PlayStation racing games and FIFA football, and I've made mobile games for Sega like Sonic the Hedgehog and things like that. So the last thing I thought I'd be doing at this point in my career would be making a solitaire game, but it's a classic that so many people love, and it hasn't had enough love from game developers for a long time, I think. And we've just taken it on ourselves as a bit of a mission to commission diverse independent artists around the world. So yeah, you can see all of the cards on the screen actually represent a different deck that we've had commissioned from a different artist. So an artist from Russia. In UK Black History Month last year, we commissioned an additional 4 black artists and released a new deck every week. It nearly killed me, but it was an amazing thing to do. A young Indian artist in the top left there, just 21 years old, to Tom Fry in the top right, who is the art director of the recent Sonic the Hedgehog games. So,
oh wow,
yeah,
okay. So I'm a big lover of solitaire. I play a lot of solitaire. I have to ask, first of all, why solitaire? Like I said, you've been in the industry for a long time. Did you look at the market and say, you know what, I can innovate here in ways that just go beyond what's out there? Because there are a ton of solitaire games on iOS, which is what I personally use, but I can honestly say that none of them have the visual panache and sort of just the kind of speed playability that this one does. What was your thinking when you decided to take this on? I mean, obviously you want to do something different, but what really kind of compelled you to do this?
Yeah, it started slightly accidentally, as a lot of projects do, and we thought this would be quite an easy game to make and do something fun, and our focus was really on making it very tactile and responsive and fluid. So you flick the cards around. And it just became an obsession. And as we, if you're familiar kind of with the other games on the market, many of them haven't evolved much since, the original Microsoft one, which is now 30 years old. So it just seemed like it was ripe for innovation and for us to do something fun. And then when we found the art mission, it just we've just got obsessed, and we're super happy to be doing it.
I did not realize that. And these are one of the moments for young people who are watching this. These are one of the moments that you will have in your life where you go, damn, I am really old. Because I had no idea that solitaire game was 30 years old.
Yeah, it was Microsoft actually put it on Windows 3.1 to teach people how to use a mouse.
Oh, God. Okay. Yeah. I did not know that. I mean, I remember the original, Windows, of course. I remember Minesweeper stuff during '95 and everything, but good Lord, I did not realize that the original solitaire, digital solitaire game was 30 years old. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You have in this game, for people who don't know, you have multiple ways to play solitaire. So it's not the standard solitaire version. And of course, as you indicated, you have gorgeous card art. And I can't stipulate enough to people. I highly recommend you guys download the game just so you can see how gorgeous his artwork is. This screen, of course, won't do it justice. You got to see it in action. But why did you decide to put so many different versions of solitaire? Because some of the games I have in solitaire do not offer those various versions.
Yeah,
you just want to really have like the ultimate solitaire version?
Yeah, so we're just getting started, really. So we have the classic version with, you know, deal 1, deal 3, and then we have pyramid, and then we have 11s, which is not a very well known one. It's quite a simple game, but it works really well with Flick. But yeah, we have plans to add many more versions. You know, we're really just at the start of our journey, and we're super happy to be working with you guys on this. It's so many more artists to come, many more game types to come. It's just at the beginning, and lots to come.
Awesome. Okay. Well, then, real quickly, Katie, from your perspective, obviously, you have been looking at this market and talking about this game. You have recently had a wonderful promotion from Apple in relation to the game. So they love what you guys are doing. What's your feeling about just kind of casual games in this market, how people are, are engaging with them? Do you see, tremendous transformation in this market as technology gets better, as smartphones get better? What's your read on this whole market?
Well, first of all, I've just got to say, Jay, he's got the most addictive laugh ever when you guys were having that.
Oh, nice.
I've got to say, I was giggling. Luckily, I was on mute because we would have to record this whole show again, but amazing addictive laugh. But I think for me, it's Flick for me, Flick Solitaire, which has transformed how I see Solitaire and mobile games in general, and the platform that they give to enable some sort of messaging or story, or to really showcase and shine the light on different subjects. And in our case at Flick, it's packed with this passion for providing an online gallery for artists from all over the world with any background. And us on this mission to say, look, each month we are going to bring you a brand new deck. It's featured in Game Forever. We're promoting it on all our channels, on our website. It's, we can't sort of do it without this art. This is what it's all about for us. So for me, that it's hard, right? It's hard to get attention on a lot of things out there in the video game industry. It's hard because the big players out there, they suck it all up. Most of the attention. So for us as a mobile game, and I think also the opinion of mobile game has not always been as high as AAA games. We're talking PlayStation, Xbox, etc. But mobile games in the industry are outselling everything. It's the biggest revenue for the gaming industry is coming from mobile. So this is not to be just forgotten or just looked at as casual gaming. This is serious, and all of the artists that are involved in it, we've got about I think we're at 17 artists in game now. These guys, this is everything to them, and their art means a lot to them, means a lot to us. So I think Ian will correct me because he's the stats man, but there have been over about 12 million games played of Flick Solitaire now, the Solitaire game. And that platform that's giving those artists and the wonderful places all that art comes from is just fantastic. So to me, to put us in a box, say, we're casual gaming, or, it's just much more than that. This is Solitaire supercharged. This is packed. This has got power. This has got meaning. And a lot of casual games don't have that.
I really love what you said. Sorry, Ian, go ahead. I was gonna just comment how much I love what you just said, but go ahead, man. Those stats.
I think that sounds about right. I could look it up, but people get obsessed by the game. We get really nice reviews on the store from people who are just they say things like I've never left a review on the store before, but I love this game so much. But I was just gonna say about the artists we work with, following on from what Katie was saying, is from my 20-year career in making games, it hasn't always been easy to get my name in the credits or my company in the credits of games that I've been making. And, we go to great lengths when we commission an artist, They retain the IP. We get an exclusive license for card games because we don't want the cards appearing in anyone else's card games.
Yeah,
but they retain the IP. We pay them. We promote them in game, heavily, and we feature them on our channels because we want them to be successful because we believe that will make us successful. And it's about artists supporting artists is really how we see it.
Just real quickly, so we can get on to the show, but I do want to say, and again, for the young people watching this, you guys obviously follow me and follow Saturday, and you know how passionate I am about these things, about representation and inclusivity, and about creator ownership, and everything that Ian and Katie just said it was so dead on. I mean, if you all know, I came from the video game industry myself. Ian and I shared quite a few contacts together, and one of the things that really made me fall out of love with video games, especially the big budget, the big games. I got started back in the era where you could literally make a AAA video game for about $100,000, 6 people in an apartment, doing code, like a couple people doing coding, and take an engine like Renderware or the early version of Unreal, and you could produce a game. And now that's changed, and it's gotten really expensive. And so indie games, mobile games, have really kind of democratized the playing field again. And so when you start seeing more and more people coming in and offering really personal, really unique, more diverse and inclusive content, it's really rewarding, because that's what the industry kind of lost for some time. And I also made the statement that Katie made. I've said this, I used to say this all the time in the gaming industry, but whenever I'd hear some of our fellow colleagues, Ian, talk about how the video game industry was like, we're kicking the movie industry's butt, I would always think to myself, I don't pay $60 for a movie ticket. So no, we're not. You know what I mean? It's like video games are very expensive. And so you have a smaller audience who are participating in video games. That's just the name of the game. And so when you talk about mobile games, it democratizes it even further because you're getting more people getting a chance to interact with the product, and therefore more people are actually playing it. So 12 million plays, that's incredible. And again, having these amazing artists producing artwork, getting to retain it, having a chance to have it seen by so many people. Again, hats off to you guys. And again, if you folks are out there, you really love and support independent comics, independent artists like Saturday AM, then please check out Flip Solitaire. Okay, we're going to get started then. Let's jump right in with the Sweet 16. It's actually Sweet 17. Voting is now open, folks, if you want to vote. So we're going to go through these. We're going to give our votes, and you guys are going to get a chance to make your voice heard by voting. As you can tell, it has a basketball theme, and so we're tying into the College March Madness event that's happening right now. So first up is Team Apple Black. Now, Whyt, are you ready to talk about Team Apple Black a little bit?
Yeah, let's go. Although I will, come clean right here now. So, basketball is, to me, second tier to soccer or football.
All right, I'm going to delete your thing from this. Jackie, strike what he just said.
I'm just gonna keep it a buck.
Right, Jackie, strike what he said.
Oh gosh! So if I look at the teams,
awesome,
I know it's awesome, but I'm just saying, I'm just basically saying that I'm more into. I can speak more freely about football than basketball. So forgive me if I don't know some of the teams or some of the mascots, especially for this is not even like a NBA. So, but I'm sure but it's also really big. I know March Art Madness is really big every March. So yeah, let's go.
All right. Okay. All right. So Team Apple Black. There are 4 artists left in this division, in this group, and they were tasked with drawing characters from the South Division of the NCAA. And so the South Division of the NCAA includes the following teams: Baylor, Villanova, Arkansas, and Oral Roberts. First up, we have Oblivious 334 versus Shauna Chups. And Shauna Chups, I believe, is actually from France. So we have a French artist versus an American artist, I believe. First up, we have Oblivious 334. I like this piece. It's got my vote. Whyt, what did you make of this?
It's hard to go wrong with red, but I'm sure that has to do with the actual team. The as far as the illustration goes, I like it, and I think it looks good for a card as well. You know, playing with the whole king thing, and the illustration. I like the inking. It's maybe saturated a little bit, but it's still in a good way that's not really hurting my eyes, and I like the blurry stuff in the background. So overall, I guess a thumbs up for me. Obviously, some anatomy issues. You know, things could be better, or you know, maybe the basketball itself could have been used with the pose a little better, with the more dynamic pose while playing basketball. But overall, it's still a good illustration, and I like the very subtle air. The word leaves me, but coming from the nostrils.
Oh yeah, yep. I see what you're saying. Yeah, he's blowing out of his snorting, whatever he's doing. Not snorting. He's shooting air out of his nostrils. But yeah, that's I actually did not notice that upon first look. So okay, Ian and Katie, what do you guys make of this?
Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. I mean, I'm just totally blown away by all of these cards. And this is a very difficult job we've got to do here today. But it's a great pose. I really like the character. So part of where I'm coming from with this is because I've been, working on this game. The cards on the phone screen are very small, and this character is really big and bold and really kind of making the use of the space. And this would work well when small. I also like the detail of the trim around the card and the kind of the curves on the bottom and the indents on the top. So I think this is really strong. I really like this. Yeah. Katie?
Yeah, I agree. And I feel, again, I'm going to say this for a hell of a lot of the art we're seeing. I just love it. It's just brilliant. This particular piece is really strong. It's mean looking. It's got that king thing about it, which is obviously great for the card. I agree a little bit with what Whyt said about the pose and maybe making it a bit more dynamic. Maybe the left arm looks a bit lost, but I'm really trying here to be a good judge and look at it. So I'd probably say, yeah, where's the arm gone? A little bit over there, but that's just me trying to, But yeah, brilliant character, and as Ian said as well, really fills up the space. Very mean.
So this is from the University of Arkansas, for those of you who are following along, and so they chose them. And let me just say this real quickly, those of you who I didn't say this at the very beginning. Not only do these artists choose the university and make a flip solitaire style card with the artwork of the mascot, and they're doing the mascot in their own way, so it could be cartoony, it could be realistic, and so on and so forth. But the team they choose, if they win this weekend, they get an extra 25-point bonus. So crazy. So next up, Shauna Chups, their opponent. And I'm going to go now to Rashad. Rashad, what do you make of this image here?
Give me a minute. I got a mouthful of food, man.
That's effective, Rashad. Very effective.
But honestly, I really like it. I like the glow. I like the simple stuff that they did with the glow around the character to kind of separate it from the background.
You should give me a warning and be like, hey, bro, I'm eating right now.
Oh, yeah. But, I like the fact that I'm a huge fan of panel breaks. And so I like the feet coming out of the card a little bit. Now, this is supposed to be a card, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm a little, I wish they had made it look more like a card, because it's hard to tell at first glance. I see some of the traits, but it doesn't feel like a card. But other than that, I think the artwork does look pretty good, though.
Okay, so we'll go back to Flick. Katie, what do you make of it? I'll start with you and we'll go to Ian. What do you make of this?
I love the character. I love the way it fills the space. The colours maybe could pop a little bit more.
Okay. Ian, what do you say, sir?
Killer pose, really like it. I like the basketball in the background. I think that's nice. As people mentioned, it looks less like a card, Certainly, the kind of the king and the diamond could be bigger and punchier. The ring is playing tricks with my eyes, like the perspective. It looks like he's holding the wrong side of it, but maybe that's just my lack of understanding of basketball.
Well, so everything you all said is why this didn't get my vote. Shauna Chubbs has been an amazing artist throughout this entire tournament, and I certainly would be more than happy to see this artist continue on. I couldn't give it my vote because at the end of the day, everything about it just felt just slightly less compelling than the previous art we saw for Oblivious 334. There's a gripping of the basket, and like you said, it just felt awkward. The pose is dynamic, but the card part just felt kind of tacked on. It didn't feel like it was intrinsically part of the design, which is part of the objective of this particular theme. So just there were enough things that just didn't quite work for me. I didn't like the reverse K and diamond at the bottom. I did like the pattern of the basketballs in the background, but there was just enough stuff that just didn't quite grab me. And so for all the complaints that we saw, and not complaints, but just noticeable critiques that we saw here for Blue 54, the arm, the perspective, it was still vibrant enough, dynamic enough, and energetic enough for me to be able to see it and say, you know what, I appreciate what this is doing. The other image from Sean, I just felt like this didn't quite grab me in that way. So for me, Oblivious 54 got my vote. Let's go down the list then and find out what everyone votes then. So Flick, who are you going to give your vote to? Oblivious 334 or Shauna Chubbs?
I think we're with Oblivious. Yes, Katie. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
See, guys, we were hoping for a fight, but no fight yet. I'm sure there will be later on.
It's a tough one. They were both really good, I thought, this round.
I think I'm not going to fight with a Bond villain, right? I'm gonna let him win.
Well, Katie, but that was you're messing up my plan of having you both drink and thinking that would raise your.
Hey, this is the first round. This is the first part, right? We've got loads to go. Don't worry.
That's true. That's true. All right, Rashad, which vote did you give, sir?
Oblivious.
Oblivious, okay. Whyt, Oblivious or Shauna Chubbs?
Shauna Chubbs.
Okay. Sir, you want to give a quick indication as to why?
Yeah, I agree with a lot of people with the background design could be better. I'm not a fan of the glow around the character too as well. I do like the design of the diamond. I'm not a fan of the upside down K as well. But overall, the drawing itself, the mascot, the popping out of there was like popping out of the panel. There's a lot that was going for it that I did like. I also don't like the patterns at the back as well. So there is stuff I didn't like, and with the rim. But I think there was. I feel like the creator here was trying to do a little more and putting more, in my head, effort, and they were successful in some things, like the mascot itself, and some design with the diamond and stuff like that. So,
no, I totally agree about the fact that we've talked about this in previous sessions of March Art Madness. The attempt is always worth something, and this artist did attempt quite a few things here that to be praised. So I completely agree with you on that. Jay, Shauna Chubbs or Oblivious 334?
I'm gonna go Oblivious, mainly just because I like the fact that it looks most like a card, and that's I feel like what they were trying to do or supposed to do. So I like Oblivious a lot more for that.
All right, okay. So Oblivious has 4 votes, and Shauna Chubbs has 1 vote. Folks, you can make the difference by going and voting for this particular team on our website. Next up is Katsugiri Art versus Arakusu Illustrations. I did enjoy this first image here from Katsugiri Art. Let me go to Jay. Jay, give me your thoughts on this.
Yeah, so I really like this a lot. It's very shiny, very bright. I like the gold coloring. The spade and the 7 and the Oru. I think that's really cool, and it matches obviously with his feathers. So I really like the repeating colors, also with the blue, also being around everything. So I like that aspect. I like the texture on the ball. I think that's pretty cool. I do think that it's very bright, and even though I think it's cool because it's it immediately makes me notice it. I do think that it's too bright. There's certain things that could have been, dulled down. I like the background. It looks like a photo that's actually been like blurred, but they did a good job of kind of incorporating it with this. So I think that's pretty cool. Overall, I like this image. I think it's pretty cool.
Okay, Ian, what about you?
Yeah, it's great. I love it. I love the feathers on the arm, especially, and the little head on the back of the vest is great. I think this is really strong, and how they integrated it into a card is superb as well. Love it.
Katie?
Yeah, second what Ian said. I love this card so much. I think it works as a card. It just sings to me what the brief was, and then if you just look at the art and the detail in the bird itself, in the eagle itself, it's tremendous. And I did adjust my brightness on my Mac just to make sure I wasn't I was viewing it correctly, and it would be a special shiny card used to collect the stickers. As a child, it would be that. Right. It would be that one. So it's very it's brilliant.
Cool. Okay. All right. So next up here, Whyt, give me your thoughts on this one from Arakusu Illustrations.
Okay, getting all the red stuff. So again, the reds here sometimes for me they can get a little too saturated, but I think this one is still in this safe zone. I like a lot of the work here. I think he has a unique coloring style, and I think he got critiqued one time for having skinny characters, and now he's going ham with all the buff. And I think it also shows growth in the creator as well, and able to take criticism, because the muscles here and the way it's put together here look way better than the previous Thor, who was supposed to be this buff, So the design overall, I like it. I like it, and I like what he's done in the background, giving it a little bit of 3D sense to it. Everything seems a little maybe too dark, and so therefore the one in the corners are hard to see. Maybe would have gone with just a flat white or something like that. Like in some cases, it might not always be necessary to give everything an outline, but little tweaks here and there, graphic design wise, for the symbols would do this a little more justice. But overall, good stuff.
Yeah. So this was also Arkansas, and I've actually been looking. I'm trying to figure out who this is. I know this is Oral Roberts. I'm trying to figure out who the Shauna Chumps one was with the bull. I'm not sure that's actually a mascot from one of these things here, but I'll find out. But because unfortunately, if it's not, then that would further erode points. But so the issue I have with this one is, this feels very much like a card, I don't like the reverse thing at the bottom. Obviously, cards do that, but I don't care for that design element. I do like the background. It feels like one of those. This feels like one of those images that you see sometimes in like colleges. Like the coloring, the rendering of the coloring is very sharp, and in some ways a little too sharp, a little too bright, a little too shiny, But I mean, all in all, like I felt just that this one felt more the Oral Roberts one for Katsugiri just felt more connected to the basketball element. It's the Eagle. They're wearing the basketball jersey. They're in a gym. This one, feels more like a pattern. It feels more kind of like a character design as opposed to something that really captures the mascot. But I did like both. But I do think the Katsugiri one is a little stronger, in my opinion. Katie, what did you make of this one from Arakusu Illustrations?
I think it's very powerful. The character, again, really mean, really strong. I'm not sure about the number one, and I'm also not particularly a fan of the background so much. Although I'm not sure what the messaging is or what the symbolism is for that behind the actual character, but the character itself is just, yeah, I mean, every ripple is just defined, and yeah, it's amazing. It is an amazing piece as a character.
Yeah, Ian.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get like terminology wrong here because I'm used to the world of video games. So in video games, there's a technique called rim lighting, where it looks like the character's lit from behind, and you get this glow around the edge, and that looks awesome on this character. Like the fur on the legs and the arms, I really love it, and the flaming basketball is great. Yeah, as Katie said, it's a little bit less like a card, and I think it probably loses some points on that, but it's really nice image.
Yeah, I mean, like again, there are things I like about the coloring here, but I know what you're getting at, Ian. There's a drop shadow going on here too. My problem with this card with Arakusu is that there's a lot going on here, and this is not a very dynamic image. It's not like there's a ton of things going on artistically. It's just from a post-production standpoint, there's a lot going on here. I agree with Katie. I don't know what that background is. It's a pattern. They just said, hey, let's go with the pattern. There's a drop shadow. It looks like a drop shadow and an inner shadow. We should talk about the way the hair is kind of popping, but there's a definite drop shadow going on behind him. Don't like the reversing of the numbers and so forth. I don't know what the neon thing is on his tufts and his whatever you call those things, tusk and his eyes. And I don't think the flame is particularly great here on this either. And again, I think Harakuso, who's done some amazing pieces beforehand, I think is awesome. But I think this is just a situation where this is like kitchen sink stuff. Like everything was thrown onto this piece, and I'm not sure it needed that. To be fair, the Katsugiri piece as well, all this kind of light going on in the background, I'm not in love with that either. That's just really overprocessed. I agree with Jay. You look at it, and you do kind of wonder if that's not a photograph in the background, because that texture on that basketball is unlike anything else on this picture. So I don't know. I don't know. Everyone tries different techniques to get the best result, and sometimes, it's a question of balance. Does it all work? And I'm not convinced that either of these work great, but if I had to choose, as I said before, I would choose Katsugiri personally. So it's vote time. Let's start with Jay. Jay, which one do you go with there? Katsugiri art or Arakusu illustrations?
Yeah, I'm going to go Katsugiri.
Katsugiri art. All right. Whyt, who do you go with? Katsugiri art or Arakusu illustrations?
Katsugiri.
Katsugiri. Dr. Chicken McNugget, are you finished? Who do you vote for?
Katsugiri.
Katsugiri art? Okay. And Flick, Ian and Katie, battle it out, guys.
We're just too synced. I've got a feeling I know. I'm hoping it's Katsugiri.
Yeah.
Ian?
I think so. Yeah. It's got it for me. It's a beautiful
Come on,
card.
UK. Come on, UK. Stand together.
Y'all are killing me. All right. Katsugiri art's got a clean sweep here. So again, folks, you can change that if you do truly love. And there's some great things here with Arakusu, and this artist, I'm not sure if it's she, has done some great stuff. I love the He-Man piece last week. So please, make sure you come out for both these artists and for all the artists in this team, Apple Black, and vote for who you think deserves to go through. You, of course, can vote by going to www.saturday-am.com/madness. It's a very simple process. Takes less than 5 minutes. Go in, select, hit the button, and you will be taken specifically to the survey, and you can vote for the people that you think should go to the next round. I want to talk a quick second about Sketch Wallet. Sketch Wallet is part wallet, part sketchbook, 100% you. You make this the way that you like, in the sense that it is completely everything that you want to have on you at all times. Take your credit cards, take your ID, take your cash, but always take your sketchbook with you. Simply open up the wallet, has very strong paper internal, over 16 sheets. You've got an included pen that you can draw with, and these simply come with multiple sketchbooks you can swap out as you go through the sketchbooks themselves. Really efficient. They come in both leather and leather and tweed, and these are great. And so we hope that you guys will check these out. They're very inexpensive, and Sketch Wallet is a wonderful sponsor of this year's tournament. We've tried some of these. They're really fun. I think you guys are going to love these. If you love to draw at all times, I know Jay Oden likes to draw at all times, then you will like Sketch Wallet. Jay, have you ever tried one of these?
No, but I've actually been wanting to for a very long time because I heard about this, I don't know, a few years ago. So, yeah, I would love to, play with this.
Jackie, you're there, Jackie. Come to us, Jackie.
Yeah, I'm here.
Jackie, you've seen Sketch Wallet. You met the founder of the company, didn't you?
Yeah. I met Ralph at what was it, Lightbox Expo? I think when they did the first event, like in 2019, I want to say. But yeah, he was really a nice guy, and I was really fascinated with the product, and I had to get his information down and hook Saturday up with the company and see if something could happen with that, because I knew, considering we both are art-driven companies, I could definitely see some synergy there. So yeah, really awesome Sketch Wallet. I want one too, actually.
Well, you know what? I'm going to hook you both up. We've actually got a number of these Sketch Wallets. We're going to send them out. I'll send one to you, Jackie. Jay, I'll send you one. Just to correct the record on these, I'll make sure I've got it right, because I couldn't remember the exact name of the material. Leather, obviously. Neither of you will be getting leather, by the way. You'll be getting canvas. But these are fantastic. You get a 2B drawing pencil. Comes with the page clips you can easily put in or replace your sketchbook. Sketchbook has 60 pages, so they comes with other sketchbook. You can buy like a refill pack, and those have different page counts, but still, it's the main wallet types that we'll be giving away as prizes will have 60 pages in them. The wallet also has, for those of you who are tech heads like myself, they have an RFID blocking card, so you don't have to worry about people having a chance to lift some material from your chip card. So this is a really great product, and again, if you love to draw frequently, you definitely want to check these out. So please check out Sketch Wallet. They are a sponsor of this year's tournament, and we're really excited for their product. So check it out. I think you guys will really love it. All right, next up, we have Team Bully Eater. Bully Eater, of course, is one of our great series, one of our original series like Apple Black, and deals with a young man who is fighting bullies in his school. He has no powers, but they typically have powers. So really fun series. And, of course, we didn't talk about Apple Black. You all know about Apple Black. So awesome series, super fantasy, young kid who could be the savior of his land, or he can be a destroyer of it. He's got one of those powerful weapons out there, and you can learn everything about Apple Black in the pages of Apple Black on the one only White Manga. Bully Eater, though, was a very fun series. Not quite as serious as Apple Black, but very fun series by Raymond Brown, and his team is pretty good. So we're going to get his team right now. It's going to be a tough one, I think, because there's some really talented artists in this group as well. So let's get to it. Their task was drawing schools from the West Division. So at the time of us putting together this theme for the participants, they had not gone through fully their second round of activity in the traditional March Madness. So there are 8 teams here as opposed to 4. But nonetheless, this is Gonzaga, Oklahoma, Creighton, Ohio, USC, which is University of Southern California, Kansas, Oregon, and Iowa. These are the finalists currently in this group. This will all change by the day, by the way. But for now, then, let's jump into this and see what we got here. So first up, we have MC Rondo Art versus Young Wavy the Artist. And I have to say, always, as one of the old people with the, as the only old person Saturday AM, you guys never cease to amaze me with your names. Never. Young Wavy the Artist. I don't know what that means, but I do like it. All right, MC Rondo Art. Here is the art here. I didn't go with this. I went with Young Wavy. I'll explain why shortly, but let's find out what everyone's thought about this. I'm going to start with MC McDonald's. Are you there, buddy? Every round, I'm going to give you a different name. It's going to be Burger King next, and maybe if you do well, I'll upgrade you to Chick-fil-A. What did you make of this piece, sir?
Right off the bat, I think it looks kind of hyper real.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. There's something about the face that doesn't seem, it seems a bit odd, not proportioned, I guess, right, face wise. But other than that, I don't really have a problem with this.
Yeah, it's a very dynamic image, no question about it. Ian, what do you make of this, sir?
Yeah, some really nice work, especially in the hands. I think.
Yeah.
It's some of the proportions look slightly uncomfortable or slightly wrong, but it's really nicely done. I like the boot. I would like it more card-like, of course, but yeah, it's good work.
Katie, how do you feel about this?
I'm a massive fan of MC Rondo art. I loved the previous pieces from round 2, Spider-Man stuff, and I think it was a ninja from memory. Sorry, correct me if I'm wrong. So I was really looking forward to seeing the round 3 stuff. And I've got to agree. I think this, just because the way he's, Donnie's hat, or there's just something a bit maybe squashed in the top part with the face. But I really like the colours. It doesn't scream card to me from a flick perspective. Right. I'd rather it look a bit more card, but the piece as a bit of art is it's amazing.
Yeah, I agree. This is for me. Everything everyone said is why I couldn't vote for it. And I agree with you completely, Katie. I've been a huge fan of MC Rondo's artwork the past 2 rounds. I think he's truly fantastic. This piece here, face kind of caught me off guard. Love the hand. That's the best part about this thing, in my opinion. Love the hand. Love the detail in the boot, but like the face kind of threw me off. That leg makes me uncomfortable as a man. Because I don't know what's going on. Like physically, I don't know how he's doing that. I don't know how he's doing this. That's a weird leg up compared to the rest of the body. And then the card piece, I didn't feel like this was a card. It felt like a pin-up. It didn't feel like a card. He's got all the things he's supposed to have in there. I did like the fact that he put the OSU in the spades. I thought that was pretty clever, but still, just didn't quite grab me as that. So, yeah, I would agree with all of that. His opponent is Young Wavy, the artist, and he drew a picture of Creighton's mascot here. I'm going to go to Jay on this one. What do you make of this, Jay?
Yeah, so I actually like this. It reminds me of Star Fox, actually, the Falco friend. It's like, what if he was just playing basketball? That's what it reminded me of when I first immediately looked at this. I like the colors. The blue is really cool. I like the shine on it. Kind of makes it look like it's a laminated card. I think that's pretty awesome. I'm not really a fan of the upside down clover. Like, I get that that's, their way of making the card look more like a card. But honestly, I think, if you just want to move the clover all the way to the right, like top right, instead of just having it right next to the other clover and the K, I think that probably would have made it look better. Overall, I like this image a lot. I think it looks pretty cool. Yeah. I also like the Wilson inside the basketball. That's another really cool, detail that they added.
At the very end, we're going to talk about the basketballs. Everyone did something with the basketball on all these cards that either was photoed. There were some really clever ways to make these basketballs work, and some of these people. We already talked about a few of them, but yeah, I did notice that about the Wilson. Katie, what do you think? What do you make of this?
I like it. It's kind of busy for me. I think the character in itself is slightly lost in the background, and the shadowing or the lighting. I also feel that the card symbols are a little bit they don't really attract each other. They don't seem to work together. They maybe should have been the same or the same size or something. Something's off a bit for me with that. But the character in the basketball, just make that simpler behind, I think would have shone a lot more.
Agreed. Ian?
Yeah, the character's great, but yeah, tall, skinny Falco, that's really good. Hadn't spotted that. I really love the textural kind of, you can see the pens. It's really I really love the character. The logo behind, is that the official logo? Because the image I'm looking at, it looks a bit pixelated, like it's more so than the character, which yeah, and the glow's a little strong, and yeah, like Katie said, I mean, there's two club symbols like at the top.
That's right. That's right.
It's so character's really strong, but I think the integration with the cards could have been better.
So totally agree. I went with this between the two, and that's why this tournament is so fun, but also so difficult, because no artist gets 100% right, rarely, and a lot of artists, will make choices sometimes collectively that are problematic. The last team that we looked at, Apple Black, there were a few people I thought who did that, and this is another example where I'm not in love with either one of these pieces, but I think the thing with MC Rondo Art and with Young Wavy is that where MC Rondo Art got ambitious in a couple of areas, and I wish they had just kind of been more adventurous on the card design, less so on the character. This is an area where I think Young Wavy just was throwing everything against the wall, kind of like Arakusu art and or Arakusu illustration in the last one, because there's no point. Like the background, you've got these like waves of light going through. The character is supposed to be in front of the background, so I'm not sure why those waves of light are going through him. I don't know why that's happening. The basketball looks amazing. I really like the character as well. I think the character looks really great. That, like you said, the clover and the king, and you got the clover twice. That's just redundant. And so again, this is just throwing stuff against the wall. And one thing artists have to learn. Hopefully, we know this tournament teaches some artists this, is that folks, you don't have to overdo it. Sometimes less is more. If you've got a great piece of art, then go with that, and then focus on maybe the card design of putting the king and the clover. But I think that it's overkill putting that pixelated Creighton icon on the back. The waves of light were unnecessary, and then having two different clover things in there were extremely unnecessary. But that said, I still like the character art for the Creighton bird. I think it works just to me stronger and is more proportionate than what MC Rondo Art had. And at least there's an attempt, a bit more of an attempt at the card design here than MC Rondo Art. But still, two very strong creators. My vote's for Young Wavy, the artist. Jay, who do you vote for here?
Young Wavy.
Young Wavy. Whyt, who are you voting for here?
Young Wavy.
Burger King, who are you voting for here? We're going to get a sponsorship one day.
I see you get creative with these names, man.
Absolutely, buddy. Arby's is coming next. Who you got?
I'm going to go with Young Wavy.
Young Wavy. All right. And Flick, who do you guys have? Young Wavy or MC Rondo Art?
Go on, Ian. You go first.
There's things I like about both of these, but on balance, Young Wavy.
Young Wavy. Okay.
Young Wavy.
Still no battle going on here. Damn it. We will get there. We will get there. All right. Next up, we have Lord Kotadwe versus T-Rex and the Painter. These names, I tell you. Okay, Lord Kotadwe, I believe, is Nigerian. And T-Rex and Painter, I'm not sure where he was from. But either way, again, some great international artists. Here's Lord Kotadwe. This one did get my vote. This is Gonzaga Bulldog. By the way, they're expected to win the entire championship this year. So good pick on his end. Let me start off with Whyt. Whyt, what do you make of this piece?
I like the pose. Probably got some reference in there, which is okay. But there's something dynamic. But again, this probably goes back to the whole we need to see the full body. But to a degree, I think it works here. My issues are with the little bit of the chaos in the background and how the symbols, the K and all that doesn't pop as well as I'd like, for my taste at least. I think the best thing going for this image is the design of the character as well as the pose of the character. But everything else I think could use some work, as well as some of the rendering, coloring wise. It does feel a little dull in some places. But overall, it's got the dynamic aspect going for it, which I think is pretty good. And that's probably the best part about it. And and the face, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you about roughness, but I actually liked it quite a bit. Ian, what'd you make of this?
So one of the things with making the game is that the artists we work with, come up with these terrific characters and designs. And one of the things I struggle with is getting them to make a nice texture for the card itself. And that's really nice. Kind of it looks like a grey stone or slate or something with the paint. So I really like that. I really like the highlights they've done on the edge of the card to make it look like a physical card as well. So there's a lot I like about this one. I like the character. Some of the detail is lacking in places like one of the legs, the knee, and the ball. But it's a really strong one. I like it a lot.
Katie, what do you make?
Ooh, I love this one. I've got to admit, I'm a bit of a fan of Lord Katodwi. I love the splash on the spade. I think that looks really cool. I wish the character was a slightly bit away from the K for the king. It's just a tiny bit, too close. I love the texture in it. I mean, Flip Solitaire as the game itself is is sort of a textural game. You can the cards sort of play as their real cards. And this does actually say a bit of a real card to me. There's that texture, as Ian mentioned, with the grey. And then I love the splashing of the red and the blues. I mean, there could be some finer details, but I love this creator. I think he's really cool. So, yeah, I'm loving this one.
I agree with you, Katie. Katie, in fact, I agree with you 100%. I agree with everything you said. I actually like the splatter background. I like the little thing you did too with Spade. Spade and the K, that's probably my only complaint is they're not in sync. The Spade is really huge and the K is smaller than that. And it would be great if that also had the little swatch in it. But I actually, I thought it was, at least it was different. I actually really enjoyed it. And I love the character art of the mascot. So I actually like this piece a lot. T-Rex and the Painter went with, again, Creighton. And let me go to Jay on this one. Jay, what did you make of this?
Yeah, sorry about that. I actually, so this one I liked a lot more. So I'm actually gonna vote for this. The reason why is because I like the fact that if you flipped it over, it would look essentially the same. I like that, kind of like the balance of it all. I think it looks like a card. I like the fact that the logo is in the background. I think the figure looks really cool. I like a lot about this piece. I mean, and overall, I think the only thing I could say is nothing, actually. No, I like this piece a lot. I like this a lot. This is really cool. I also really like the texture in the background, the gray. It just completes it for me. So I like it a lot.
Okay. Katie, start with you again. What do you make of this piece?
I also love this one. It's an obvious card straight away. It's very it screams card. It's the symmetry in it obviously is exactly how a physical pack of cards how they would be. I think I'm a little bit, my eyes, my head's been turned by the other entry. So if I'm one-on-one, it's really difficult to. I do like both, but I just think the other one, the detail is just so much stronger. I find the character isn't as strong as in this one, although I like it. It's just not as strong. It's just not for me, but I still do like it. They're both great.
No, of course, absolutely. Ian, what do you think?
Yeah, this is one of the toughest pairings, definitely. The rotational symmetry, just such classic part of card design. Often with those classic cards, one will be slightly different to the other, and it will look like it's the same, and it's actually a little bit different. So that would have been really nice to see that. I like the texture in the background. The way the heart is kind of nestled in the K with that kind of bevel on both of them that matches, I think is really, really slick. I like this one a lot. This might be our first fight.
All right. Well, I'm excited already then. let's go down the list then and give our votes for this then. So, Whyt, which one? T-Rex and the Painter or Lord Katabwe?
Yeah, this is tough. This is tough. I did chuckle when Kate said "has been turned." I haven't heard that since Love Island. I've always found British slang fascinating, and it was a bird, quote unquote. This is difficult. I think I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for Lord.
Lord Katabwe, yeah. Okay, Jay, which one are you going for?
I'm going Trex and the Painter.
All right, T-Rex and the Painter. Rashad, who are you going for?
T-Rex and the Painter.
T-Rex and the Painter. Wow. Okay. Flick, let's get that fight going.
I gotta say, Ian, I'm serving the Lord. I am serving the Lord.
Oh my God! Katie, where are you from? A Godzilla versus Kong movie? That line sounded like when that character goes, "Kong bows to no one." Like, oh.
I love
That's
this.
what we do in the UK. That's how we are over here, Fred.
Well, she's the actress that says that line is British. I kept thinking, I'm like, I know her parents are like, "You did this with your career." No, Kong bows to no one. Oh, God, what a horrible line. Oh my God. Anyway, she's doing the Lord's work, Ian. So what are you going to do here?
Yeah, I mean, I would vote T-Rex and the Painter. So we're split. I don't really know how to resolve this.
Yeah, I don't. The sad part is that I don't either. I don't know what I'm supposed to do in this case.
See, Fred wants to fight, but he doesn't know
rock,
what
paper,
to do.
scissors. Rock, paper, scissors.
I guess we'll just split the vote. I guess it's like 12 and a half and 12 and a half to the other order.
How about we let Jackie decide?
Oh, that's a good idea, Jackie.
Come on, Jackie. PR.
Come on, Jackie.
PR girl.
Come on, Jackie.
PR girl, stick together.
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
Jackie, Kong bows to no one.
Oh no. Well, I'm probably gonna have to do a technical for this one. So I know the theme was to make a solitaire card. Now, when I'm looking at Lord Katodwe's, it doesn't really feel as much as a card as the Trex Painter one. Like the Trex Painter one had the symmetry, and it does look like a card versus Lord Katodwe. But, I will give credit, like you guys were saying, Lord Katodwe, he had the full body. There's a lot more detail with the character itself. It's dynamic. You see the whole pose. Versus Trex Painter, which is only like the headshot. So Lord Katodwe appeared to have done more work as far as the drawing's concerned. But from a technical standpoint, the Trex Painter one does it for me, just because they were really trying to get that card format. So like, and then in a professional career, when the client is asking, hey, we need a solitaire card design, I would assume they probably go with the Trex and the Painter one over Lord Katodwe just for that reason alone. But Lord Katodwe is an awesome artist. They're both really fantastic. So I have to get it with Trex and the Painter at the end of the day.
Thank you. And Jackie, just so we next time we have a split decision like this, just give me the answer, Jackie. That was a thesis. What are you teaching a class? Give me the answer, woman. Break the tie.
It's my moment to shine.
Yes. By the way, please make sure you're shining these answers on a sheet of paper so we can follow who voted for who, because I'm lost already. Lord Katodwe was my vote, and I'll just say, I think he's a great artist. I think Character the Painter is a great artist. This is definitely one of the first really, really, really difficult ones because really, both these guys are really interesting with their artwork. Plus, it's up to you for you to decide. So I think we have a lot of folks who went either way here. So please make sure you go and vote. Go to www.saturday-am.com/madness and give your votes so that you can help determine who advances from that matchup. All right, so we are going to take a 5-minute break. I do want to tell you guys real quickly about Wacom. We are very honored to have Wacom as a sponsor, not just of March Art Madness, but to be working with them on a variety of levels. Wacom is a Japanese company. As you all may know, they make easily some of the best drawing tablets on the market. We have had the honor and the privilege to be a non-Japanese company making manga-style comics and working with the 3 largest makers of manga production materials. Sakura, who makes some of the micron pens and markers, Quick Studio Paint, and now Wacom. So we are really excited to have a chance to work with this company, and they are going to be providing their fabulous Wacom 1 tablet for the grand prize winner, as well as a couple of follow-up, the runners-up tablets. So I want to ask real quickly, Whyt, I know you have used Wacom, you've used some of the other folks as well. What do you make of drawing tablets? Obviously, I know some people really love iPads. What do you make of a traditional drawing tablet?
Just in general, I believe that is the go-to, especially for people who are making that transition from traditional art, or you're still doing both, but you want to get into digital art. Tablets are the way to go. And when it comes to Wacom specifically, I believe Wacom, so far from my experience and from the feedback and reviews I've seen from other creators online, Wacom's like top tier. Your best bet if you just want to get what is top of the line in the market in the industry. A lot of pros use it. Obviously, a lot of pros use elsewhere, but the vibe I get is that even though they might be using a different one, but they really want to use the Wacom. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Wacom, folks, any product you get, there's always kind of a good, better, best scenario. You always have those options of products that you purchase. Wacom is certainly considered traditionally to be one of the best. We certainly are very proud of their association. Most of our artists have used drawing tablets, and we certainly recommend if you go digital that you look at some really sophisticated drawing tablets that can give you a free range of opportunities to both get the best tactile experience in drawing, as well as being able to use a variety of software imports that can allow you to create the best artwork and finished products for your comics. Wacom, of course, one of the best. You can do so with your Wacom tablet on PC, Mac, or Android. And folks, again, this is a little different than doing on your iPad. You will have to tether this to your computer, but the fidelity is second to none. So please check out Wacom. We want to thank Wacom for sponsoring this year's March Art Madness. All right, folks, we're going to take a 5-minute break. So Rashad, please have a milkshake. I know you've eaten, so have a dessert. You knew I was going to go there. Have some water, buddy. Drink, push it down. We'll come back. We'll do Team Clock Striker, and then we'll do Team Hammer, and then that will conclude today's show. These are certainly going to get tricky, so please stay tuned. And again, if you want to support these fantastic artists, please go and vote on our website, www.saturday-am.com/madness. All right, folks, we will be back in about 5 minutes. All right, gang, we are back. This is March Art Madness 2021, and we are at our 3rd team out of 4 for round 3, our Sweet 16 round. So this is Team Clock Striker. Now, if you guys don't know Clock Striker, it is one of our most popular series. It's all about a young Black female who is really smart. She's discouraged from being an engineer. In her world, they're called Smiths, short for blacksmiths. They build things. They also can fight. They're really kind of like ninjas, like a new type of ninja. She's discouraged from being one, but she's determined to be one. And she discovers one of the few female Smiths in existence, Miss Philomena Clock, who takes her under her wing, thus her becoming a striker. And these follows their adventures as the two of them go to uncover conspiracies and enemies and have adventure and fun. And Cass, of course, can hopefully become a Smith in her own right one day. So Clock Striker, one of our most popular series. Check it out. This team is also one of our most stacked teams. Some really fantastic creators in this group. In fact, we have 5 creators we'll be looking at this particular matchup. because we had a individual who was an alternate who was moved up, and we had to have a chance to see through what this creator could do in competition. They had never had a chance to compete against other artists, so you'll be seeing a matchup with 3 people in this round as opposed to the normal 2. So with that being said, let's get to it. This team was focused on the East Division of the NCAA March Madness tournament. This includes mascots of schools like Michigan, LSU, Florida State, UCLA, Colorado, Alabama, Abilene Christian, and Maryland. And just like the last team, which was Team Bully Eater, we talked about the fact that at the time of releasing these themes to the artists, they had not gone fully through their second round, so there were still a number of teams that had not yet had a chance to get through to the next round. So they're 8 instead of 4. So with that being said, these artists had all these options. We'll see what they chose. First up, we have the 3. This is the 3 artists going head-to-head against each other. Only one artist will be emerging from this particular matchup. We have Mikey Artbook, who is from Indonesia. We have Tokyo McFly and Is Namakin. With that being said, let's look at all 3 of these guys. Mikey Artbook here. I believe this is the LSU mascot, which is a tiger, but they've depicted it kind of as the person with a tiger pattern on it. It was one of the reasons I had a tough time getting with it because I couldn't quite see the mascot piece of it, although I get the general idea of it. But Mikey Artbook is mega talented. Let me go to Jay Oden on this one. Jay, what do you make of this?
Yeah, so Mike Book is obviously, very talented, one of my favorite artists. I love the line art on this. The pose looks pretty cool. I like the pattern. Honestly, the one big thing that I just don't like about this is that it's not a tiger. I get the fact that, he has the tiger patterns, but I mean, if it was a tiger, I think this would just, excel and be way better. Overall, I do like the fact that the K's look separate. It looks like a card. It looks more of like a collectible card for this particular player. Maybe like when you turn it around, there's like stats and stuff. But overall, I think it's a pretty decently looking cool image. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I think probably because this one is a bit more complicated, there's so many pieces of art here. Flick, we'll have you guys at the end and just kind of get your thoughts across the whole thing because this has got so many people in it. So in the interest of time, we'll just kind of go one artist per, and then we'll get you guys to give your full thoughts on all 3. Let's go to Whyt for the next one. Whyt, what did you make of Tokyo McFly?
I like how it was put together. I gave the tiger some character. I like the pose of the tiger as well. I do think although I think I'll just chalk it up to just a stylistic approach. Obviously, it's not necessarily my approach to doing things, but I can understand and appreciate what the artists have here, as well as their unique way of probably handwriting the K again, which I think still fits with the overall vibe. I like the card. I like as a card. I think it works very well, and sticking to the colors. I think the colors also work very well. The symbols pop. So for me, this is a really good card. The art, I think, could be better, but it definitely gets the job done.
Okay. And Is Namakin. So let me bring in Flick with this one, and then we'll talk about the previous 2 pieces, get their thoughts holistically. So, Ian, what do you make of this piece here?
It's the first non-card shaped one, which is like the first thing that jumps out at you. So it's hard to ignore that. But I like the kind of the pattern background with the spades, the layer with the pattern. Is it Kenti pattern or is it just with the swirls? Is not. I'm not a fan of that. I quite like the shine on the nose. That's kind of cool. Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay. What do you make, Katie?
Yeah, I think for me, and going back to Jackie, when we're talking about the technical brief, or the theme, yeah, it's a little bit. It's not screaming to me that this is a card at all. Unfortunately, I think there's probably too much going on for me personally. But I do love the detail in the eye of the bird, of the eagle. And yeah, I just think it's a shame that if that just been structured a bit differently, maybe how it would have looked completely different.
I totally agree. One other thing is that, so I agree. I mean, this to me already lost points because it wasn't shaped correctly, and it will lose points because it's not done in the format that it's supposed to be. That's just that's an ironclad rule, and this person didn't follow it for whatever reason. Where is this Dominican from again, Jackie? I remember we had some previous issues.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I did post in the group that we have that we needed to have the card size dimensions, and they probably just didn't see it. So that's what I'm assuming. But
no, there's no. Certainly not blaming this person for not following the rules in the sense of like, oh, they chose to just like, I'm gonna do it my way. Like, I don't think that happened. I think this person, I'm not sure. I remember there were some issues we had with them in the past. They're very talented, but I remember there were some issues they had in the past where they didn't understand a basic rule, and I just questioned whether or not they understood, the English that we had and so forth. And so it's, it happens. Here's another problem. This is not the Michigan mascot. So this was a loss across the board for me. Too busy, not the Michigan mascot, and not set to the dimensions. So that's just, regardless, that's just a failure. Katie, what'd you make of Tokyo McFly's piece here?
I love this piece. I think it just works very well as a card when you're flicking on screen very quickly. If you're good at solitaire or 11s or pyramid or whatever you're playing, you are flicking cards quite quickly, and you need to obviously, the pattern needs to register with you. And I can see this registering quite well on a game or in flick. The only thing I'd say is probably the lines are just, the purple top line's just off for me. I'm not sure for some reason.
Everything is off on this piece. the
really? Okay.
Don't lay it up. Like, everything is off here. Like, they did not edge this up at all. But,
I think the character the character is more what I'm concentrating on and seeing.
Yeah, same here.
It's not necessarily the screaming again card to me. Obviously, it's in the right dimensions and format, but I just like the way it pops, and for the contrast, it works really well. But the lines don't. That's the negative for me.
I agree. Ian, what do you make of that?
Yeah, this is super bold. Like the black and the gold and the purple. I really like this one. I think it's really strong. There's some, the hand drawn K, great. Hand draw the symbol as well. Like, make it would be easy. But yeah, I like this one a lot.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I like I said, the lines don't add up here. There's no symmetry to this whatsoever. The yellow block in the center, the purple does not. They're not equidistant from each other. There's no consistency to it. The K and the spade don't line up correctly. But to me, the LSU Tiger, just that everything about the character, I think, is fantastic. So that's why I got really championed that. And then Mikey Artbook's piece. What did you guys make of this? And this certainly, has more traditional card elements. What did you make of this, Ian?
Really nice character. I love actually the lines around the vest, how that falls. And I think the basketball, like the depth effect, I think that's really well done. And like the shine on the basketball, that's some talent. It's a good one.
And Katie, what about you?
Yeah, I think it works well as a card. I love the way that everything's been spaced out. I love the card symbols. They really pop for me on this. I think the basketball does, obviously, for the composition, take a lot of the card space, which seems... I don't know if it's wasted slightly, maybe a tad, because I don't know, it's quite a big feature of the card. When the character is really strong, maybe that should have had more room. But I like the way the composition is trying to play with you, so that's really clever.
So all right, so here's the big question then. So Flick, who of these three gets your vote? Who continues on? Mikey Artbook, Tokyo McFly is Namakin.
Tokyo McFly for me.
Yeah, Tokyo McFly. 100%.
Oh, okay.
100%.
I thought this was going to be a battle, but I guess.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, it was 3 people. But, you know what they say. Calling bows to no one. Krispy Kreme, who do you have here? You know that's you, Rashad.
Tokyo McFly.
You're gonna wait that out. Like I know that's right about me. Yes, I am crispy. What about you, Jay?
Yeah, this was tough, but I'm gonna have to give it to Tokyo McFly. Yeah. Also, I just like to say that I'm from Louisiana, so I think it's pretty cool that my current book. And LSU is just really cool. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I was surprised too. LSU got a lot of love on this because Michigan. You would think Michigan would get more. What about you? Michigan. What did you make of this, Whyt? Who do you think gets your vote?
I'm gonna go Mikey.
Mikey art book from Whyt. Whyt Manga, ladies and gentlemen, the contrarian. All right. So, folks, you can help if you felt that Islamican deserved a chance. Then please vote. If you felt that Tokyo McFly really should go through, then you, of course, can add your votes to. He did seem to get the majority of the votes, but Mikey Artbook certainly is a mega talented and certainly would be a threat going further into the tournament. So if you think that Mikey should go, then please make sure you put your votes in on our site. The final matchup in this team is This is my personal. The most difficult one, I think, in this entire round. I'm pretty confident. Dkmb Studio versus Miserable Monk. I'm not sure where Dkmb is from. I know Miserable Monk is from South Africa. You remember where Dkmb was from, Jackson? I thought he was from somewhere, too.
Sorry. I think he's from the Philippines. I think so.
Yes, I think it was the Philippines. I think you're right.
Yeah.
It was the Philippines versus South Africa. Okay, well, let's start off with it with Dkmb Studios. This is, I'm actually trying to figure out who is this? What mascot is this? I guess Alabama, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Yeah, Alabama. Is Alabama's mascot a giant elephant?
I don't know. You should know that. You're the basketball expert.
Yes, but I'm your ACC buddy, UNC Chapel Hill, my alma mater, home of Michael Jordan. So yeah, I think it's Alabama. Which I didn't know that was there. Wait, Rashad should know the answer to this. Rashad, that's not Roll Tide. I thought it was Roll Tide.
I'm racking my brain too, man.
Yeah, it's like Roll Tide, right?
I know this for I know it's for the football, but I don't know. I don't keep up like with the Alabama basketball though, so I couldn't.
They don't have separate mascots, buddy. So I can tell you that they'll call them separate mascots.
That's one there, man.
Trying to figure out. I don't know what that's all about. But anyways, I will find out. So I thought this could have gone either way. It is an elephant. Look at that. It is an elephant. Okay, so I love this piece. I was gutted on this one. I love this piece. I love the other one more, but I love this piece. Let's stay with you, Mr. Alabama. What did you make of this?
Oh man, you know I'm biased on this one, man.
Oh, good point. My bad. You're right.
No,
I'm sorry about that.
But in all fairness, it is a spectacular image, though. I will say that.
Well, it really is. So, what do you got, Subway?
I have nothing bad to say about this image.
No, there is nothing bad to say about it.
I like everything about it. So there you have it.
I agree. I mean, I love the shading on it. I mean, like I truly love everything about this image. Ian,
space with the smoke or the clouds or whatever. That's spectacular.
I totally agree. Ian, what do you make of this, sir?
Spectacular is the word. It's like the pose, the way it pops out from the frame and goes behind it, the tear across it, the shading, the gradient in the background, the suit. It's just fantastic. Mm-hmm. The ball, the size of the ball in like the elephant's hand as well. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Totally agree. Katie, what do you make of this?
Yeah, I'm in love with it. I hate this round. I was really dreading this part of the show. And I don't know how this is going to I don't know how this is going to play out. I'd love a split vote. That's what I'm probably going to, I'm just going to be praying for right now. Because, yeah, this is just, it is sick. I love it. It's brilliant. It's just, amazing. Really good.
Yeah, it really is flawless. I mean, it just is. It just is. There's really nothing more you can say about it. Next up, we have Miserable Monk. This is the piece here. It's the Michigan mascot. Let me go to White Manga on this one. White, what did you make of this?
I think this is really, really good. I like the background, what's happening there, all the abstract stuff. It's interesting to look at, but at the same time, it's not distracting.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The colors are also consistent here. I think the stylistic approach. Also, this very different style from Miserable Monk, if I'm correct. I might be wrong, but even in this style of drawing, which I'm not really used to seeing from them, it's still really, really good. Yeah, there's not much bad to say. This is really solid to me. The only thing I could think of maybe is that this is a card you really need to like look close to, like you really need to come close to appreciate all the details there, where the drawing is not blown up enough to just quickly see at first glance or appreciate. There's like a lot to really digest, but it's so good that I'm not against it. So like it.
Agreed. I agree with literally everything you said. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful piece. Katie, what do you make of this?
Oh, my goodness. I love this piece so much, from the card symbols to the positioning of the character and the way the art just placed so beautifully in that space. It's so sort of intricate and detailed. It's Moorish. I just want more of it. I would need to look at this card a lot more. As Whyt mentioned, there's just so much to sponge up. I love the colours. How it's funny because I thought some of the stronger cards with the colours, how they pop, work so well, but this has a really sort of tone to it that just still pops, but not in that obvious way, which is just beautiful. I love it.
What do you make, Ian?
Yeah, it's beautiful. This card needs to be, printed out A2, A1, really, to kind of appreciate it. I love that they've made the clubs into clovers,
Yes,
flying around it. It's beautiful. It's one very difficult one. This one.
Well, let's get to it then. I mean, look, I'll just say it. I mean, I mean, this is what the tournament's all about. I could have gone either way with this. Both these artists are two of my favorites. What sold me ultimately on Miserable Monk is that, again, he's got that ability to look at it constantly and keep pulling new things out of it. I love the pattern in the background. I love the fact that the pattern repeats. Obviously, it's a complete pattern from top to bottom, although there's a color variation to it. Like the choices made here, and this is what I say all the time about this tournament. This tournament ultimately is about choices, just like life. It's all about the choices you make. And sometimes you can be daring and it blows up in your face. And other times you can be daring in very subtle ways and it makes all the difference in the world. It's like at the margins. And I think this one, when you compare the two, this one has detailed character, as does the first piece by Dkmb. This has detailed character, but then this one has detailed backgrounds. This one has detail in the suit. It has detail in the pattern. It just, to me, it's like that edged it for me, was the level of detail literally from every single element on this particular image, as opposed to Dkmb, which is fantastic, has incredible depth and imagination as it relates specifically to the elephant. But and the clothing has the shading, everything about it. But when you look at the top to bottom design choices made, I just think Miserable Monk just nailed every piece of it. And so for me, that's my vote. Jay, who do you go, Miserable Monk or Dkmb?
I just want to say it's Miserable Monk, but the reason why is not only everything you guys said, but the actual figure itself looks like a clover if you look at it. The actual silhouette of it is a clover, which is absolutely amazing. So I like everything about this image, everything you guys said, but also the figure itself looking like a clove for the suit is absolutely amazing. So I love it a lot.
For those young,
feel stupid for not noticing.
Well, hold off there for a second. Damn it, I couldn't think of a fast food name fast enough. Hold on for a second there, Rashad. For those of you young people who are seeing this image, you just heard what Jay said. I just want to let you guys know, all the drugs in the world won't make you see exactly what he said. I see some of it, but I have to imagine a lot of it, Jay.
No, look at the rim, and then look at the basketball, and then look at his tail. Those are the 3 circles, and then look at the other tail for his foot. That's the clover itself. That's what I'm saying. That's what makes this image.
I agree, 100%.
Incredible.
Very clever.
This is
very
amazing.
clever.
This is really cool.
Yeah.
Oh. I've only had coffee. I don't see all of that, but it's great. It is great. I do like the image, Jay. Thank you, Jay, for that contribution, sir. White Manga, who you going with?
Yeah, this is easily the toughest one.
Whoops.
This is easily the toughest one. I'm going to go. I'm going to go Miserable Monk.
Yeah, it's painful, man. I agree. Rashad, did you say who you were going for?
Dkmb.
Rashad. Contrarian. Dkmb.
Yeah, man.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, because you're an Alabama person. All right. And last but not least, Flick Solitaire. Flick, what's it going to be?
There might be another fight. Dkmb for me.
How could you? How could you do this?
I did love it because I knew there was going to be like some reaction to you, and I love that it was like that. I could hear like the air command. Like,
can you? That's my heartbreaking, Fred.
Yeah.
Oh.
What do you say here, Katie?
You got to rotate the images, Fred. You got to rotate those images for me.
Come on, Katie.
I'm going Miserable Monk. I'm going Miserable Monk. I love it. I'd have it on my wall. I adore it. I'd have both of them on my wall and everywhere else.
That's the thing for me. I would have Miserable Monk on my wall, and I do love it, but it's so detailed. It needs to be big, and the Dkmb studio is much more like every line on it is meaningful for me.
Yeah, I know.
I love that Ian is applying his background as making cards for his game as some sort of criteria.
It's working because I can see it is. I mean, Dkmb is for a card. It is just. Oh, don't show me that again. Can't. No, I'm sticking. For a card, yeah, Dkmb. But I just love the detail and the cleverness of that little monk.
I think what we're going to do here is we're going to split your votes because I think this is so close. It just doesn't make sense to have a tiebreaker on this. I mean, there's some people who have to come out and vote. And I will say, I said this to the group earlier, but Team Clockstriker right now has the most survey votes. So, folks, again, go vote. This has the most votes so far because I think a lot of you guys who've been following the tournament know how tough this group is, and you all have come out in really strong numbers so far. Keep coming. Let's get 400 people to vote and see what we end up with. But I think we'll split the votes here because I think this is just too tough of a thing to do it. And it's not, it's going to come down to the margin anyway. So we shall see on that one. But Dkmb Studio and Miserable Monk definitely seems to be a split here. One thing I will say, Jackie, real quickly, Jackie, who would you choose, Jack?
Well, honestly, if I had it my way, I would have Dkmb Studio and Miserable Monk compete in the top, final 4, because they're they're both so good. This was a hard one. But I think I'm gonna have to go with Miserable Monk, only because there seems to be a lot more just subtle detail. But the Dkmb Studio, I think that is great. Is just like a card. It's a great classic look, and the pose is really, really good. So both awesome artists, but I'd probably have to give it to Miserable Monk.
Yeah, I mean, what I would say to you, to Katie, and really to anyone watching this, as you guys will watch this a little bit later today, and we're really torn by this decision, and you're like, you know, I want to have both these guys, or it's breaking my heart, I think Katie said. Folks, the reason Saturday has succeeded is because I have no heart. My heart is like a little tiny black speck of dust. And it doesn't like beat, like, it just goes. And for me, it was very simple. I like Miserable Monk stuff. I like Dkmb stuff, but I like the pattern and everything Miserable Monk. I go Miserable Monk. That's simple. But that's how I do it. Maybe you all won't see it that way. So go vote and make sure that you make your voice known. That's Team Clock Striker. Please go vote. www.saturday-am.com/madness. Go vote. Make your votes known. Let your voice be known, with your vote. And it will be, the votes will be active until 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow night. So Sunday, March 28th. So please, you got plenty of time to get your votes in. And not only that, folks, if you know it's going to come out to the margins like you see, tell your friends, tell your family, tell other people who love artwork. If you are one of these colleges who are being featured, get your college in here. Remember, too, the team they choose, if they win, they get 25 extra points. So keep all that in mind, folks. All right, next up. JustSketch. This is a software for helping you create some of the best 3D character, or this is the best for creating your character pose for your comics or just your total illustrations. It's a 3D character tool. Now, lots of places have these. Some people, of course, can buy dolls. Some people buy Clip Studio Paint. It has a feature with this sort of opportunity to create better character art. But this is a completely independent toolkit that allows you, with the software, that allows you to create literally thousands of different poses. I've heard from Rashad, who we're going to speak to here in just a moment, that this has one of the best hand posing models as well, which I think was really interesting stat. This is super easy to use. You can try it for free. And this is a company, folks, who actually hails from South Africa. So we've been really excited as well, because part of caring about diversity is not just caring about diversity of people's characters and so forth, but caring about diversity in terms of where new content, new companies are coming from. And to see this really talented group of young creators with this great piece of software, and by the way, reasonably priced, because you can't care about diversity and then have a really expensive product for people to use. So this is such an inexpensive product, fantastic, easy to use. Rashad, tell me about the software. You've used it and enjoyed it. I think Jay's used it as well. But tell me about the software, Rashad. What do you make of this?
Honestly, I love it. I never really was a big, like the little dolls and toys that you kind of move around and pose. I was never really a fan of those because they just always felt impractical. And, you know, you would have to take a picture of it or however the case. You needed to angle it a certain way. It was just more troublesome than it needed to be. And granted, you can use reference photos, but there's nothing like being able to use a program which you could just go right into and just change the camera angle. You know, on the flip of a dime, it saves a lot of time. So as far as like even with the movement and things like that, I was talking about the hands. It's so detailed as far as like getting in. Like if you know a little bit about anatomy going into the program, then it definitely helps out going in because you know exactly what it is that you're trying to achieve. So even all the way down to the knuckles, it's incredibly detailed. But yeah, it's amazing.
I couldn't agree more. We've had a lot of artists have used it. In fact, art you're seeing right here is from one of our artists from New Zealand, Oscar Fong, who does a series of Master Multiplayer World of Ghosts with us. He did this piece here. You can just see again that this is a really, really sophisticated tool set. They do have a mobile app coming soon, so you guys will have more ways to interact with the product. And again, we can't recommend this product highly enough. You can, of course, integrate the poses you get with this into other pieces of software if you were using another software type like Clip Studio Paint or Procreate. So again, highly recommend JustSketch. Go to www.justsketch.me to try the software for free. All right, our final team is Team Hammer. Jay, tell people about Hammer very quickly, or you'll get the Freddy version of it. So which would you prefer?
You can do the Freddy version. I think that's cool.
This is a fantasy story about a young kid with the most impossible hairstyle ever known to man, whose father is missing. He goes to look for his father using his father's journal, which allows him to transport into other worlds. There's a lot of danger, a lot of characters who interact with the folks. He has a secret weapon. He can turn his hands into hammer. In fact, he turns his whole body into metal. And so it's a really fun, really adventurous series. If you love things like One Piece, you'll probably really dig Hammer. It's a really awesome, all ages title. Is that good, Jay?
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I would say 12 and older, but I mean, yeah, all ages, sure, why not?
I think a little blood never hurt nobody. Okay, so let's get to look, Jay, you know what I love about this little exchange right here? What's that somewhere in the UK right now, Katie is struggling to drink her fifth bottle, her fifth glass of wine, and she's thinking to herself,
she's like,
Oh my
that laugh.
God.
That laugh.
I love it so much. Honestly, bottle it.
Let me tell you, Katie. Let me tell you, Katie. Let me tell you, we got another guy in the company who laughs just like Jay, and it is spectacular when the two of them get together. It is awesome.
Whenever he is watching this video, I'm sure he's laughing a storm right now.
Yes. My favorite part about Jay and the other artist JR is that because they know I tease them about it so much, but because they also know that they cannot control their laugh, I literally don't have to say anything to make them laugh. I just have to go, and here are my laughing twins. They'll be like, there's nothing they can do to stop it.
Just to prove you wrong. Damn it, I can't hold it.
I was ready to say, I know you, and I know you're fighting it. You're like, I'm not going to laugh. Yes. All right, folks, this is Team Hammer. This is Jay's team here, and this is another really look, every team has got an artist who can win this thing. Apple Black team has got a couple of artists, Oblivious 334. He won our holiday art contest a couple of years ago, so he is no slouch. Bull Eater's a couple of great artists. Obviously, we just went through a really difficult period with Team Clock Striker with two artists. Team Hammer's another one that's got some really, really dynamite creators. Let's get to it. NCAA March Madness Midwest Division. The teams here are Houston, Syracuse, La Loya, Chicago, and Oregon State. So first up, we have Drawn Up Comics versus Sir Doom. And Drawn Up Comics here. This is the Oregon State Beaver. Rashad, what did you make of this?
I actually really like this one. It's one of those less is more type deals. It's very simple, and I kind of like the simplicity of it. They didn't try to do too much. And as far as seeing it as a card, I can definitely see it as that. I like it overall.
Yeah, I mean, it's got my vote. Like so many times, I wasn't in love with it. It got my vote, and I'll explain why at the end. But it got my vote. There are several things here that I didn't care for. Like, there's a ton of orange in this piece, like way too much orange in this piece. I don't know what the Midwest at the bottom brings to this. It seems like it's just clutter to throw at the bottom. Again, this is this idea that we've seen throughout the tournament and see all the time in art where people, they're not quite sure what to do, so they just keep throwing things at the illustration, keep adding things in there, whether it's a light flare or weird patterns. That Midwest, just every time I see it, I'm like, I don't know why this is here. And then again, like I said, it's very, very orange, but I'll get to why I ultimately chose this one. Ian, what did you make of this?
Yeah, I like it. I like the textures in it. I like the textures on the fawn, the club symbol, the wood in the background, and the basketball. Yeah, it's nice card. Katie.
Okay.
I've been a massive fan so far of again these artists in this team, and I agree actually a lot with what Fred said about the orange, although it's not too off-putting for me. But the Midwest needs to go, not literally, but just on the card is fine. And then just maybe take away the fact that the character itself is again very mixed in with the card symbols. I think they should maybe have a bit more separation. It's quite cute.
Yeah, very cute, no doubt about it. The competitor here is Sir Doom. This is obviously a very, very detailed piece here. Whyt, what do you make of this, sir? Whyt?
Yeah, I'm here. I think I like the detail. I like the detail in the armor. I like the shot, like the angle we're getting the character from. I like the shadows on the wall. I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are as to why the other one goes through. But this is definitely getting my vote. Yeah, I like it. There's not much. I can sense the style. I like the colors. I'm getting all I need to get from this. If I were to be critical, I would just need to maybe take much longer to look at it. But overall, from what I'm seeing, I'm pretty satisfied.
The issue is that this is not a team that's in this phase of the
tournament.
So I'm like, this is Rutgers. This is Rutgers, and I'm like, they're not in this. They weren't listed. They're not in this. I'm like,
You're right.
So yeah, so that just kind of like I saw it. I kind of look at it. I'm like, why did he do this? I have no idea why he did.
You see, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say maybe just and it happens. Again, people because I don't think Sir Doom. Where's Sir Doom from, Jackie? You remember?
Gosh, no, I don't. I'm sorry.
I remember. Yeah, I remember he was like, I think it's Middle Eastern. And again, look, like people in America, don't necessarily, if they're not into basketball, they don't know the stuff about it. And obviously, if you're not from America, then it becomes even more, kind of a strange thing. It's happened in the past when we've done this. People, they'll draw what they think looks cool. If the mascot looks cool, they'll draw that. And there's nothing wrong with that except for when we're trying to keep it very specific. So that's the only issue I have with it, was that he didn't follow the rule piece of it. But it is great. I don't disagree with you at all. It's great.
Yeah, also because, like I said, from the start, not a basketball person, so that completely went over my head.
Sure.
But as an image, aside from that, this to me would have gone through. Even like the armor is also like a jersey with like an upside down Adidas. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. It's a Scarlet Knight is the name of this mascot. Ian, what do you make of this, sir?
Yeah, that's a one beat up knight. So look at the sword damage on the sword. It's really nice. I really particularly actually love the background and how they've integrated it into cards. The K, the diamond are beautiful and kind of big and bold, which is something that's very important for our game. I like that the paper's kind of just like a nice off-white. I like the shadow. I'm a big fan of this one.
Katie?
Yeah, I'm afraid, Fred, you're not going to get any fight here. I'm a massive, massive fan of Sir Doom and his round 2 work. And I love the story in this, the feeling. There's just so much to it from that character. And even how the hair flows out of the helmet is just, it's beautiful. I love it.
Well, Katie, I'd like to just take slight issue with what you just said. I also look at story inside of artwork, Katie. Perhaps you don't know about Chucky the Beaver here. They had a lifetime of abuse based on their teeth. They do like the color orange. So I think you're being a bit deceptive here when you suggest that. Like, this character has plenty of backstory as well. There's no damaged sword here, but there's a lot going on in this picture. And they're from the Midwest.
I can. For me, this piece is a fun story. It's not necessarily. I wasn't saying this didn't have a story. It's just more. This is cute. This is cheeky. It's fun, and with Sir Doom, he just brings feeling in me. It's just how I feel. His piece is just strong. It just has that feeling to it. Does that work necessarily for a card? Hell yeah, because he is that Night King. That's just that power of the king of obviously being a strong card. So for
you think this is more serious? Like, you think this character comes across more serious than this character?
Yeah, it's a different. All art has story behind it, but but what story it has evokes different in different people. So this cute, even Ian knows, for me, cute stuff is just, it is, the cute stuff, yeah, it's cool, but I push it aside. I prefer the more serious stuff that actually evokes more feeling in me, that might be a bit more serious. Yeah, that's just the macabre in me. I'm sorry, it's just the way I am.
No, I totally appreciate that. I mean, I'd like that stuff too. Again, this character here was an alcoholic in a previous life, so there's story in these characters, but you gotta see it. It's kind of like Jay and the Clover thing.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go on the list then. Let's make these votes. Jay, which one? Drawn Up Comics or Sir Doom?
I'm gonna go Sir Doom.
Sir Doom. All right. Rashad, Sir Doom or Drawn Up Comics?
Sir Doom.
Sir Doom. All right. Whyt, Sir Doom or Drawn Up Comics?
Yeah, the technicality is not enough for me. I think he overpowers it with the art, so I go Sir Doom.
Okay, yeah, it doesn't have to be. Flick, I feel like I know the answer to this one.
Go, Katie.
Sir Doom. Although I do love that one. Okay.
I'm going to support Drawn Up Comics. So yes, I do think for me that was enough of a thing to not have captured that. But obviously, I'm in the minority, and folks, you of course do get to make your voice known by going to vote. So make sure you go to the website and vote who you believe should go forward in this. The last matchup here is Jacob SM Art, which I believe is a Peruvian artist, I think, versus Ofodu, which I forgot where they were from. So some more great international artists here. This is one of my favorite pieces. This is the Oregon Beaver, I mean. I like this piece, obviously. This piece was really grabbing me, but I'm eager to hear what you guys think. So let me go to Jay. Jay, what do you make of this?
Yeah, this is one that's going to get my vote. I like this a lot. Just the fur, the way it's colored, I think that's really cool. I like the motion of it. It looks like he's on a spade, like flying through the sky or wherever he is. I think that's really cool. I like the shadowing on his eye. The highlight on his eye is pretty cool. Just his tail that leads you straight to the A of spades. I think that's really cool. I don't think that you needed the A of spades on the bottom. I think that's just kind of there, just to make it look more of a card. But I mean, if had they played Flick Solitaire, they probably would have just seen the two symbols at the top and been okay. So if you got rid of that, this card would have been perfect. But overall, I like this a lot. I like I think it's probably the only criticism I could give is that it's a little bit too dark. Maybe have the spade in the middle either be white or maybe the black in the background be white above the spade, just because like his jersey is blending in a little bit too much into the spade in the background. But other than that, I think this looks really cool. And this definitely gets my vote.
Okay. So Katie, what do you make of this?
I love it. Jacob is someone I have followed on Insta. A big support from Flick on Insta as well for his round 2 and previous pieces. He had some really amazing art. The mermaid, I think there was one, and the sort of kick-ass anime sort of type character warrior. Amazing. So I love as Jay said, the way it just sort of, I don't know, it's coming out of you, of the card. The character is popping out of the card, and the curves in it are just delicious. Scrap the bottom card symbols, and I think it would be, it's just got movement. It's just got so much feeling. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. What would you make, Ian?
Yeah, great work. I love how the black and white flips on the top and bottom. I agree that it's maybe too dark. I love the big spade. And the tail is the tail is brilliant. The tail just kind of completes it for me. But great work.
I totally agree. This is up against Ofodu here, one with the Houston mascot. Did a gender bent version of it, which is really cool. So what do you make of this? Let's see, Whyt, what do you make of this?
Like I said, the gender bend, I think that doesn't matter, but I think it plays into, I guess, the background, making it very pink and all that, very, very Mean Girls. And then spinning the ball with the tail, I thought that was a creative touch.
Yeah.
I like how the symbols are rendered, like the font and the way the heart looks and all of that. I think as a card, this works well. The weakest part of it, though, I think, is just the way the animal is, like the way the mascot is rendered. Aside from that, this would have been stronger if that was done a little better. But yeah, I like what we have here. Even have like little heart, nice touch at the corners of the card, and the way the words are behind in the background, very academic, like very collegey font. So everything is strong. Even the art, the mascot itself is strong, but the mascot itself is the weakest part. And I would have taken away the pattern above.
I know that's the part that gets me. That's the part that gets me. They put the pattern on. Like, why would you put the pattern on the character's fur?
Yeah, it just makes it look a little weird. But yeah.
Yeah, because the pattern is not. I mean, I don't think it's on the white part of the character's jersey. So I just don't understand why you do that. But yeah, it's just hard for me to take my head around it. I love the idea, and again, this is one of those things where the artists. I love artists who make attempts, even if they don't pull it off, they at least try, and I think that's always a worthwhile endeavor for an artist is to try. This artist is trying something unique: the gender bend, the pose, the spinning of the ball with the tail, like you said, kind of the varsity font. Not quite what that is, but still like the heart. Like, they try to get a little clever with it, and I think a lot of it works. But then just the fact that it's kind of just seems to be just kind of used without any real thought as to purpose or necessity. Again, hence why the stuff's on the character's fur. It just kills me. So I like the attempt. It's not strong enough for me to recommend it, but I do like the attempt. Katie, what did you make of this?
I think as the colours work for a card, again, when you're playing these games quickly, it works really well. It's really strong pink and whites. It's a cute cougar, I imagine, if I've got that right, for Houston mascot. I like the way that they've made the card symbols their own. They're a little bit different. The heart looks a little bit edgy, a bit different, which is nice. I love, as Whyt mentioned, the details in the edging of the cards. I think it'd be probably lost in game because they're so, tiny, but I like that sort of finishing touches. But then, as you said, Fred, I think there's maybe an element too far where we've just gone, just for the whole card applied this pattern, which unfortunately just takes away the power of the character for me. But I do like the contrast of the colours, and I do think that would be quite powerful in game.
Agreed. Ian, you got any final thoughts here?
Yeah, I love that. I love the heart. I love the Q. I actually really like the heart pattern. What they've done with that, kind of rotating it and having it like a check. And I don't mind it coming through on the fur. I quite like it. But there's a couple of things that just don't quite fit. Like the thick outline on the basketball, I think doesn't work. But it's pretty good.
Definitely is talented. I love that. I think their second round artwork from Ofo Dude. So definitely talented. My choice of this particular matchup is Jacob SM Art. The one thing that I wanted to call out was just, as someone said earlier, I don't like the pattern at the bottom with the upside down A and the spade. Again, I'm not sure if these artists have played Flick Solitaire. It's a digital card game. I know that traditionally the cards have a thing at the top, a thing at the bottom. It doesn't have to be that way because it's a digital card game. You're never going to see the bottom of the card in terms of like, if I flip the card around, I can see it from this perspective. It doesn't work that way in the game. So to me, it's like, I just rather see really cool, cleverly designed art as opposed to the traditional, like, it's got to be exactly like this for a printed card because it's not going to be a printed card. But still, I do like this piece a lot. Love the color. I love the beaver. I love the detail of the beaver. This got my my vote. Jay, Jacob SM Art, I think you said?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, Whyt, who are you going with, Jacob SM Art or Ofo Dude?
Jacob.
And Rashad, who are you going for, Jacob SM Art or Ofo Dude?
Jacob SM.
Okay, Flick, Jacob SM Art or Ofo Dude?
Jacob.
Okay.
Jacob.
All right. Okay. So I guess we are completed then, folks. It looks like it's going to be Jacob Fanart unless you go and vote. So again, this is Team Hammer. It is www.saturday-am.com/madness. Folks, go and vote. You may vote until 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow evening. So right before Monday morning, you have a chance to vote. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, what time zone you're in, you still have a chance to vote. Plenty of time to go and do so. So please go do so. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell lovers of artwork, tell people. If you're someone from one of these colleges, tell someone who attends one of these colleges or used to go to one of these colleges, an alumni, and have them come out and vote. See if their school can get that extra juice. You will get extra bonus points if you're an artist if the team that you selected to draw wins. So there's always that. And for some of these matchups, that's going to mean a great deal. So let's see what happens this week. We'll be posting the results on Monday. Last thing we want to talk about, last question we want to talk about before we wrap this thing up is Clip Studio Paint. They are, of course, Angry Pound Gorilla when it comes to creating your comics digitally. Their software is ubiquitous in the production of manga and comics. Whyt, you are a traditional champion of Clip Studio Paint. I'll kind of go around all the artists here. But Whyt, you've done several videos about Clip Studio Paint. What's your overall thought about Clip Studio Paint?
I think Clip Studio Paint, for me, is top tier when it comes to making any form of sequential art and animation, especially if you want to have that hand-drawn, 2D hand-drawn animation look. And it's really compatible with other software, so if you want to export it and do certain things in other software as well. So Clip Studio Paint, I think, is strong to have. And unlike somewhere, it's like a subscription. You can have like a one-time thing, and then you just have it. So highly recommend it.
Jay, what do you make of Clip Studio Paint?
Yeah, I've been using Clip Studio Paint since it was called Manga Studio. I love it. It's amazing. When it comes to drawing comic books, in my opinion, it is definitely one of, if not the best digital program that you can use. So I highly recommend Clip Studio Paint.
And Rashad, I know you've used Clip Studio Paint. How do you feel about it?
It is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
That was very good. That was very good. Folks, Clip Studio Paint, Japanese company. The parent company is called Celsius. We, again, can't recommend the software highly enough. Now, folks, when we talk about the best, the cost is the best, meaning that they've got all the features you could want, especially if you get the EX version, which is the version for being able to professionally output your content for printable comic book production files. So look, it's an investment. If you want to be a skateboarder, you're going to buy, the skateboard you can best afford. Clip Studio Paint does have a variety of options to be able to get into the software ecosystem. We recommend you check it out. They have several free trials, and we'll be giving away a free trial to some finalists for this year's March Art Madness. We highly recommend you try it. You can also access it via iPad, so please keep that in mind. It's also available on the brand new Samsung Galaxy Tab S7. So again, whatever platform you use, Clip Studio Paint can be there for you to create your comics. So please check it out. I want to thank Clip Studio Paint for supporting this year's March Art Madness. Folks, that's going to conclude our broadcast. Again, this is Saturday AM, the world's most diverse manga anthology. I want to thank our special judges tonight, Rashad Millhouse, one of our creators from Saturday PM with the series Outland, also upcoming artists of Saturday Wars from our upcoming Super Saturday physical magazine. We have, of course, Jay Oden, creator of Hammer for Saturday AM, as well as the co-creator of the graphic novel Lemonade Code by Oni Press. You guys can check that out now if you love great young adult fiction. We have always the super lovely Jackie Rindy. You've heard me mention her name. She does a lot of our PR. She's awesome. Jackie, you want to say any final words?
Yeah. It was all the entries were really, really good, and this round was especially tough because everyone was so talented. But this is going to be fun to watch the rest of the tournament.
Agreed. It's going to get tough. It's going to get much tougher. We, of course, have our very special guest today, Flick Games, makers of one of the coolest and one of the more modern versions of solitaire you will find, with extraordinarily gorgeous artwork from the diversity of creators around the world. You definitely want to check out Flick Solitaire for your iPad, your iPhone, your Android device. Ian Masters, aka Bond Villain number 10. Ian, any final words, sir?
Yeah, no, just thank you guys for letting us be part of this. It was incredible. The standard of the art is just like, yeah, I'm blown away, and we're just really grateful to be a part of this. And I know that, you know, you can hear Katie talking about all these people on Instagram, and I know she's going to be messaging all of them like crazy and sharing everything we can to support everyone involved, and wish everyone the best of luck.
That is really nice. Katie, your final words from you?
Oh, Fred, thank you so much. Honestly, I've had such a blast. We've been in the UK sort of stuck in these four walls for like nearly a year, as most people have been, and I've had a real blast tonight with everyone, and I feel a little bit honoured. I'm not an artist, and to judge this amazing artwork has been a real pleasure, treat, honour, everything. So thank you so much. I love the partnership. We just fit. It works great. And thank you, Jackie. We'll talk again. And so, yeah, thanks. It's lovely to meet everyone and be part of this. It's awesome. So, yeah, I'm going to be busy. You're keeping me busy, Fred.
Well, I really appreciate both you guys being here. Again, like I said, it's rare in the 8 years we've had Saturday that we get to meet a company that we work with, that we have such a compatible feeling about things and commitment to trying to make things right for various groups and inclusion overall, and just producing great content. And that's, as a person who actually uses and plays your game, I agree with Cross 100%. It's addictive and fun, and we're really honored as well to work with you guys. So thank you guys very much. And of course, last but not least, we have the one and only Whyt Manga, who you guys are watching us on his channel. Whyt is co-founder of Start AM. He is like a younger brother to me. Which Whyt, you're younger than my young sister, so you are very young. But I do very much enjoy the incredible growth you continue having, and I'm really excited about some things that we're going to be announcing that people have been wanting to see from you of Saturday for a very long time. We're working to make some of those things happen. But do you want to have any final words, sir?
Oh yeah, this has been a blast. I think the entries have been solid, and I think it's only going to get better and better from here. Hopefully, you guys watching enjoyed the videos and enjoyed our input, and enjoy the artwork as well. Again, you guys can go vote. And yeah, I think this has been great. And don't worry, I'm not too young, too old.
Why, you very well might be the youngest person on this call. So I think you are, as a matter of fact. I think you are. I think you are, buddy.
I think I'm
Yeah.
25. I think I'm younger.
Oh, no, you're the youngest. Jackie's the youngest. But why you're close? Because I know for a fact Rashad is older than I thought he was.
Hey, go on.
So I think Fred only realized how old he was today when I told him Microsoft Solitaire was 30 years old.
Oh, dude, I know I'm old. Trust me. I'm about to get up from this chair. My body will go. Ah!
Where's Jay? I just want to hear that laugh one more time.
And baby. Jay, you know what you do, Jay? Jay, Whyt's been pushing me to improve our YouTube channel. Whyt, I think we found our new show. We just have Jay laughing for a solid 5 minutes. You say they have like 8 minutes or so to get the algorithms working?
Nah. See, you know those lo-fi videos that people watch and just put on, like, you just have it play in the background? Just have Jay laugh for a couple hours, and just and it'll just be like this live streamed is just there constantly, and you'll be surprised.
How about I watch like some stand up with some headphones on, and then you just hear my laughter.
Right. You never hear the joke. You just that's right. You don't hear the joke. You're nothing. You just hear Jay, and it's like laughter. Jay. Well, the only thing that would make that better is if we obviously have JR. You're a compatriot in laughter. But you know, the third person, Jay, who really completes this little group here, Blake Showers. It takes nothing for me to make Blake laugh. And my part about Blake that I love is that the things I say to him are increasingly cruel, and yet he just dies laughing every time.
He's like, oh.
Yeah, he's like, oh.
But yeah, I mean, Blake was inside of our first podcast, and like he was a blast to hang out with. So yeah.
Oh, Blake is awesome. Yeah, Blake is
totally down. I'm totally down to have a laugh session. Why not?
We'll have to do it. Then we have to do it. But no, Blake is great people. Blake, shout out for you guys who are watching this video. All right, I want to thank everybody so much for taking time out. These are not easily produced. These March Art Madness. Everything that goes into getting the content ready each week and getting the website updated, getting the surveys produced, getting you guys to know about it, getting the video set to get recorded and then aired on Whyt's channel is a real labor. But again, I'm going to give a special shout out to Jackie, who's been my number 2 working on this for the past 2 years. Could not have done the stuff that we've been doing without her. So really appreciate Jackie's support in this and support and all everyone associated with Saturday AM. So folks, that's it. My name is Frederick, founder and publisher of the world's most diverse manga brand, Saturday AM. We will see you guys next Saturday with our 4th round live review. Also, tune in Monday on our website to make sure that you find out who won round 3. I'm sure you're going to be surprised at some of the winners, as I'm sure we will be, because, again, anything can happen between the votes, the extra bonus points, and so on. So with that said, thank you all so much, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Take care.